Hi there, I'm Ryan Hernandez, one half of the creators of Ham Radio. Now, you guys have been emailing us like crazy asking, how do you guys make a full episode? It looks really hard. You know what? It is really hard. But you're going to get an exclusive sneak peek behind the scene view on how we make a full episode of Ham Radio. So stay tuned. So here we are at the Hollywood Production Center in Glendale, California, where some great films have been made. Films like Yours, Mine, and Ours, Coach Carter, Elizabethantown, The Bad News Freaking Bears. So what happens is Kurt comes to the studio and we have this giant whiteboard and we just start spitballing and improvising ideas for each episode. So we just take turns, we go up there, we can write whatever we want, it could be as ridiculous as you want, and we actually start pulling out the good stuff and it kind of molds it into an actual episode of Ham Radio. So now the writing begins. And what happens is Kurt will take a stab at the entire script. He will write it from beginning to end, work on it for hours and hours and days and like a couple years sometimes, some of these scripts. And he will add his funny jokes and, whatever he likes to do to a script. And then what I do is I read the script and just delete the whole thing. No. So what happens, I'll take the script and I'll read it. I'll either add jokes to it or take stuff away that doesn't make sense. And then we converse on it and we whittle it down into a nice tight, what we feel tight episode of Ham Radio. So now the script's done and it's time for the record. We use state-of-the-art equipment. I mean, the mics that we use, they use on the space shuttle. Why they have mics on the space shuttle, I have no idea. But trust me, we have space shuttle mics. We like to record all of our audio in the same room, and at the same time. Some places don't do this. They like to record the audio separately and put it together later. But Kurt and I like to be in the same room with the third seater just so we can get a vibe off of each other, be able to interrupt each other and maybe ad-lib and get more of a conversational vibe to give the show a little bit more life. Next up is storyboards. Now, these are the blueprints on how the animation is going to go. This is where I figure out timing. I figure out where jokes are going to land. I figure out basically how the whole show is going to play out. So now that the storyboards are complete, it's time for animation. I create all of the backgrounds in Photoshop and do all of the animation in Flash. Now, the most tedious part about doing the dialogue is having to match up the mouth animations with the consonants and vowels. So you do this by scrubbing the audio back and forth over and over again just so you can make it look perfect. So now that all the animation's done, I dump it all into Premiere. I'll do final editing, I'll add special effects, I'll add special audio effects, and then I compress the video and I send it off to Mondo. Then a couple weeks later, Mondo then posts it on their page, and I get to spend my wonderful Monday morning reading through all of the great comments that you guys leave behind. I take every one of them to heart, and I try to make myself a better person and a better human being just by reading your guys' comments. Well, and that's it. That is the quick version of how we create an episode of Ham Radio. So I want to thank all the fans out there. Thank you guys for all your support and all of your constructive criticism. I really appreciate it. Keep watching, and thank you very much. So I think that's it. That's it. Did you? It look pretty good?
I think you smiled too much.